SVG cut files look like easy money, right? Draw a cute design once, list it, and let Etsy handle the downloads. But in 2026, the numbers say most people are not quitting their jobs with Cricut files. In this video, I'll show you what SVG sellers are really earning using 2026 Etsy income data, what each file actually sells for, how fees and software costs hit your profit, and how many listings you realistically need before it's more than beer money. Let's start with where SVGs sit on Etsy right now. According to Inside Agent's 2026 guide on best-selling digital products, SVG cut files are a core niche with typical prices between about $3 and $20 and reported profit margins around 90 to 95% because there's no materials or shipping. A second 2026 Inside Agent guide narrows it more, saying single SVGs commonly sell for between $1.99 and $4.99, and broader data shows most SVGs in the $2 to $8 range, which matches what I see when I browse cheap enough for impulse buys, high enough that you feel each sale. Now zoom out to Etsy income overall, because this is the game you're walking into. Inside Agent's 2026 income data says the average seller makes $965 a month, but the median is only $574, and about 65% of sellers make under $100 per year, while just 17% break $2,000 per month. Here's how I read that. Etsy absolutely can be a serious income source, but most shops never treat it like a real business. If you're going to sell SVGs, you need to plan like you want to be in that top 20%, not the huge group that uploads 10 files and gives up. Let's look at one SVG file that did the work. A 2026 case study on VectorSolve breaks down a simple farmhouse sign SVG that sold over 400 times at $2.99, about $200 in revenue from one file. Spread over 2 years, that's roughly $50 per month from a single design, according to the same case study's math. My takeaway is not that every SVG will hit like this, it's that one well-targeted idea can quietly pay a bill if you give it enough time and search. On the high end, a 2025 YouTube case study profiled a shop selling mostly 3D SVG files for Cricut and Silhouette. They estimated about $192,000 in total revenue from over 30 sales with only around 111 active listings, which works out to about $6.40 per order. To me, that says the upside in this niche comes less from having 1,000 random designs and more from having a tight catalog of things that people really use in projects, priced in that $5 to $7 sweet spot and ranked well in search. Now, let's talk what you actually charge. A 2026 guide on selling SVGs from Outfy says single SVG files typically go in the $3 to $10 range, while themed bundles often price between $20 and $50, and it notes bundles are a common way sellers push earnings higher per order. Here's a simple pricing plan I'd start with. Singles at $2.99 to $4.99 for most designs, $5.99 if it's complex or 3D, and then bundles like holiday sets or 3D, and then bundles like holiday sets or teacher packs at $19.99 to $49.99. That way your shop has entry-level files and higher ticket orders without feeling overpriced. Fees are what nibble at those margins. Etsy's official fees page, updated in April 2026, says you pay a 6.5% transaction fee on the listing price, plus any shipping or gift wrap and 20 cents per listing. With digital SVGs, there's no shipping, so everything is on the listing price. On a $4 SVG, that 6.5% fee is about 26 cents, plus the 20-cent listing fee spread over however many times you sell it. If you sell that file 50 times, you're paying fractions of a cent per sale on the listing fee. That's why those Inside Agent guides quote 70 to 95% profit margins for SVG sellers even after fees. Let's quickly hit software, because you don't need to spend a fortune to start. According to a 2026 digital product guide, Adobe Creative Cloud with Illustrator runs $54.99 per month, while Affinity Designer is a $69.99 one-time license, and other 2026 guides point out you can use free tools like Inkscape or GIMP plus Etsy's 20-cent listing fee to keep startup costs tiny. Here's my honest suggestion. If money is tight, start with Inkscape. Spend $10 to $20 testing a handful of listings. and only move to Illustrator or Affinity once you know you can make back that software spend in a few months of sales. So what does it realistically take to turn this into a real side income, not just LARP money? Looking at that farmhouse SVG case study and the wider Etsy income data, I'd aim for 50 to 100 solid listings over your first year, each with a clear use case for cricket or silhouette buyers. If even a quarter of those listings manage an average of 20 sales a year at around $4 with 80% profit, you're looking at roughly $640 profit from those 25 files. If you keep adding and improving, that can grow into a consistent 1,000 plus per year, which is solid side money for something you create once. The real catch with SVGs is this: the art is only half the job. The shops that hit that 3D SVG level with $6 average orders and big revenue treat it like a small brand. They niche down, post regularly, keep titles and tags tight, and build bundles that solve real project needs. If you want to try this, your next step is simple. Pick one niche, like farmhouse signs, teacher gifts, or 3D paper crafts. Learn Inkscape or Affinity well enough to make clean SVGs and commit to getting your first 20 listings up with proper photos and keywords instead of just uploading random doodles. If you found this breakdown useful and want more honest numbers on online side hustles that actually pay, hit subscribe and stick around. I'll keep showing you how these models really work so you can decide what fits your life.